What's up, Raider Nation? This is your boy, Joe Raider. I'm back at it again. This is the Real Talk, and we just got done the press conference of two candidates / now GM and head coach, Dave Ziegler as the general manager, and then you have Josh McDaniels as the head coach. So that was an interesting press conference. Really not much to talk about. They weren't going to give away all their secrets. And the guys that are interviewing them at the end really didn't ask that many tough questions as they normally do. So there really isn't much to talk about. It's good to hear the announcement. It's good to see the change. But I rather talk about, just the personal interaction that I saw and then what I already know. But you know what to do. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Please share with somebody that's part of the Raider Nation or not that just wants to watch sports in general. So first off, Josh McDaniels. I believe this is a way better choice than even John Gruden. Of course, Dennis Allen. So ever since the passing of Al Davis, this is probably the best head coaching choice by far. But the tandem of Dave Ziegler and also Josh McDaniels is the most exciting part because they go back as far as college together. I mean, they worked together for the Patriots for the last 10 years together. So just the overall connection means they're going to have the understanding of what each other wants and what each other is looking for. They seem to be overly excited about this opportunity. Well, you can see that they're kind of smitten inside the press conference. They're kind of looking back and forth at each other like, I can't believe, we got this gig. We're going to tear things up. You can tell by their reactions. So it's very, very exciting as a fan to see that they're excited to be here. They're excited to be in the facility. They're excited to see the field and everything else, the training room and whatnot. They had discussions with Derek Carr, which Josh McDaniels seems to think he can win with Derek Carr. And then you got Ziegler kind of being vague. He seemed like, I got to evaluate first, but I like Derek. I guess it was a typical GM, maybe looking a little bit into it, but he seemed a little bit vaguer than actually Josh McDaniels. But overall, this is a great hiring overall. Hats off to Mark Davis, depending on if they make the playoffs or not, but just joking. Anyway, this is a great hire overall, just having both of them. The next step would be an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Josh McDaniels said the most interesting thing in the world, which I pretty much knew already. They were like, what defense are you going to run once you do hire someone? And he said, about 80% or 89% of the plays are run out of the nickel anyway. So, it really doesn't matter. But this team was based upon, a 4-3, not a 3-4. But we'll evaluate that later on and make the overall decision. These guys are asking like rhetorical questions that you can't really answer because they just got the job hours ago. I'm sure they know to a degree, but they still got to evaluate the players that they have. They got to evaluate the contracts. They got to evaluate, the rookies. They got to evaluate college. They got to evaluate everything before they can make that answer. And, these guys don't really ask the tough questions. They ask the questions to be buddies with them later on. And reality is nobody likes them. So I don't know why they tried to be buddy with them. Great hire for the Raiders. Great hire for Mark Davis. Continuing to do what you're doing, even though people hate on you. He just keeps on winning overall. You're going to have roughs, up and downs. Mark Davis mentioned something interesting that I never heard before. He said, when I hired Reggie McKenzie, he hired, his own head coach, Dennis Allen, which I think they were too young for. They understood some parts, but they didn't understand it all. It was very interesting to hear that. And then he was like, I hired John Gruden, and then Mayock, they built the foundation, but it was a rocky road and it didn't quite work out. But now this is not a rebuild. This is not a reload. This is not a reamp. This is just, championship mode now. We're locked in and focused on doing whatever we have to do to make this happen. And this is where a lot of our fans get confused. Our fans are so focused on Derek Carr and making sure he stays around. You're not focused on the team. You're focused on one person. He's a good quarterback. He's a decent quarterback. Anyone replacing him this year, I'm not aware of it, but I don't think so. but there's no one over the shield. That's been said by Al Davis himself. There's no one above or over the shield. And whatever's best for the team, I don't care if you have to replace the kicker, the punter, whatever it may be to win championships is just win, baby. Not just keep your quarterback if you like him, if you're friends with him. I mean, you got to make business decisions like Bisaccia. I'm sure Bisaccia was a nice guy, but as far as X's and O's, he's not that guy to teach other players offense, defense. I mean, think about it in general. Before he took over as interim head coach, what did he do as a special teams coordinator? Did we get any punt returns? Did we get any kick returns? That's rhetorical. We didn't get any punt or kick returns the whole time he was there. No block kicks, no block field goals. But this guy was a stellar human being. He knew how to bring people together and make them one. Mark Davis also mentioned the fact that it wasn't just Rich Bisaccia getting the guys to come together. It was a collective unit. It was Mark Davis. It was Gus Bradley. It was Rod Marinelli. It was everyone on that coaching staff coming together. And a lot of fans look past that. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear what they want to hear. And Rich Bisaccia is God. And Gus Bradley, Greg Olson, all these other guys are trash apparently. And, nobody else is any good. So you take that with a grain of salt, whatever you came from. But I know what is what, and Rich Bisaccia wasn't calling all the calls. There's a reason why he wasn't a coach for so long. I know he's a good leader, but there's a difference. But anyways, super, super, super excited about the fact of this tandem with Dave Ziegler and also Josh McDaniels. I couldn't be more excited. I'm more excited about the assembly of an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator and the whole staff in general, personnel, everything. I want to see free agency. I want to see the draft. I'm really excited to see all this, form together and see what it comes out to be. If you like what you hear today, let me know what you think about today's, words of wisdom. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you thought should have got the job besides Harbaugh. I don't want to hear that. He didn't take anyone's job. But, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Share with someone else. And I'm out, Raider Nation.